Hello, my angels. So I'm going to make my point known on how I feel about the items that are made in China. And do not come for me. If you don't agree, just click off. But I think me and a lot of people in the luxury community, we're just tired of hearing people say that, like, we told you so, we knew it. If you think we did not know that there's a huge markup, you're delusional. Delusional. Okay? People know, especially if you have money, you understand how money is made. You understand there's a profit margin. You also understand that things are going to be marked up. And the whole goal of business is to make the largest profit margin, right? So we understand. That's why a lot of people that are wealthy or, that have means are like, we're not paying $10,000 for a Chanel double flat because we know it's not worth it, right? They're very familiar with the fact that they know it's not worth it. They would have paid maybe 5,000 for it, maybe 6,000, but 10,000? That's ridiculous. Like everybody's aware of what's ridiculous and what isn't. And some people just have money to burn, so they're going to burn it. They'd rather burn it on stuff than burn it on people. Like, I would rather give back to the community and help people than burn it on stuff, right? But some people would rather burn it on stuff than help somebody. But you can't get mad at them. It's their money. They worked for it. They choose what they want to spend it on. Just like saying, if somebody buys a Lamborghini, you can't judge them and be like, oh my God, you should have just bought a cheaper car and then given that money to the homeless or help people, or, you can't do that. It's their money. So for anyone who thinks that we're idiots for paying for luxury, and mind you, I'm going to get into the fact that I have not paid full price for luxury in a very long time. So, I'm not part of the we, but I just say that in context of just the conversation. Okay. That we or people are paying for luxury, they know what they're paying for. Okay. The other thing is, yes, the cost to make something is different than the cost that a luxury brand pays for, because remember, they're also paying the shipping, the import costs, the tariffs that were there before these new tariffs. They're also paying for the marketing, the fashion shows, the models, the employees in the store rent, all of the utilities for that store to be in place. They have to make a profit margin. So yes, it may only cost $75 or $100 or $1,600 to make a bag, but there are additional costs that the person who is manufacturing them and claiming, because not all these bags that you're buying are real, a lot of them are fakes, they're just good fakes, right? That the person that is claiming, and this is all alleged, not rooted in truth or fact, just my personal opinion and just what I've noticed in life and manufacturing, being in business, whatever, right? This is just my personal opinion. So these people that are selling you these fake bags, not made with the same materials that the luxury bags are made with. They just look like the luxury bag. Not the same materials, not the same craftsmanship. It's not. And it's not the same hardware. Remember that. So now they're selling you these things. They're making money because they don't have to pay for the marketing, the models, the store, none of the overhead. You know who paid for that? The brand. The brand who built their brand, right? So when everyone's sitting here going, oh my God, we as business people are like, no, we completely understand what we're paying for. We know that what we're paying for is for hundreds of people to be employed. That's what we're paying for. We're paying to make sure that the person who packages the box got paid. The person who picks up the box is getting paid. The person who delivers the box is getting paid. The plane who flies it or the boat who brings it, those people are getting paid. The person who receives it and opens it and has to log it in, that person's getting paid. The person who sells it and gets a commission, that person's getting paid. The person who designed the bag, all those people are getting paid because of the money that we're spending. And what other people are saying is, hey, we're just going to go to China and buy it and we're going to pay less. Do that. But it doesn't help anybody. Do you understand what I'm saying? We don't even know where that money is going, to be honest with you, and what it's funding. right? With some of the brands, you question that too. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here like defending these brands. Like, I'm not. I'm just trying to let people understand that there is a reason. So the bag costs $75 to make, but it might have cost 400. Well, that's ridiculous. Like 150, 200. Well, no, probably 400. 400 to ship it, deliver it, have it open, blah, 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 all these things. Source the materials. You have to get the materials, get those materials after you bought them sent to China to be made. Then those materials need to be sent back to Italy, France, whatever. Then that gets finished. Then it gets shipped to a location. Do you understand? There's a lot of costs and fees that are associated with this. Someone gets a commission when they sell it in most cases, right? So don't forget those fees and costs. The brand has to charge for that and still make a profit. And sometimes some pieces don't sell. They end up burning or throwing away a lot of inventory. So the profitable pieces that are really, popular, they have to make that profit margin to cover the ones that didn't sell. How's that my fault? It's not your fault. It's called business. Okay? And if you want these brands to stay afloat and you want these companies to be around, this is what they do to balance their profit margins. Not to mention that a lot of these companies are like IPOs, with the exception of Hermes, which is actually privately owned. And they have to pay dividends to their clients. So they do have to have a profit margin to keep it profitable for people to continue to buy the stock, etc. That's a whole nother thing. We're not talking about that. So when everyone's like, having a hoopla and going crazy, like, you guys are stupid. No, we're not stupid. We know that the money that we're spending is employing people. And we understand how this works. Everyone else just wants a deal. Good for you. But understand that getting that deal doesn't help anybody but the people who are manufacturing it over there. And we're all like, we need to be wealthier here. We need to be richer here. We need to do better here. And don't get me wrong, these corporations are not giving back. I'm not saying that. These billion-dollar companies are rarely ever giving back to the community and stuff like that. And don't quote me on that, because I know some are more giving than others, but a lot of them just kind of stay within themselves. They're not feeding the poor. They're not helping people. Like, you know what I mean? So I get that, but I'm just letting you know, there are a lot of people that are getting paid because these luxury brands exist. That's one. I already touched upon the other part. The quality that you're getting from overseas is not the same. Now, I'm going to do something that a lot of people don't talk about, because I used to have a lot of videos where I used to compare the fake with the real. Those videos have since been taken down. And there are some things that my billionaire clients, and mind you, I have clients that, like, they hire me, I do the job, and then I leave. I don't have their address information. I don't keep in touch with them. So I can't even point out who these people are, just FYI. Someone told me once that when you go to China, buy the belt buckles. Look at them. Make sure it's not too yellow. It's not too shiny. The belt buckles. Forget the leather strap. Nobody needs that strap. That strap is crap, right? Then you come back and you buy a leather strap, a real leather strap, and then you put it on the belt, and that buckle will last you for a lifetime. That's another way to get around the $600 belt, right? I listen, because my clients love to talk. I'm a professional organizer for millionaires and billionaires. The other day I was just doing a job for a client, and she was like, she had 2 fake Gucci bags, and she's like, oh, my mom bought me these because they were like super fakes, and she thought they were really awesome, and I guess she got me 2 of them, and then she donated one. I stayed quiet. I just listened. Do you understand? And these people I think they have like a 12-bedroom apartment. You know what I mean? Like, they have money. So, well, I want to say 12-bedroom. I would say 12-room, but like maybe like a 5 or 6-bedroom apartment. And I'm looking at it like, yes, they can afford it. But think about it like this. Even wealthy people are okay with buying a fake every now. I'm not condoning it. I'm not telling you guys to do it. I prefer to buy dupes that don't have a brand on them than the ones that do have a brand on them, because I want to see if I like the bag, and if I like the bag, then I'll go buy the original. But the truth is, which goes back to the point that I made before, I haven't seen a bag since 2008 that I want to pay full price for. I have been buying vintage luxury for quite some time because I noticed that it's not the same quality. I know luxury because I grew up with it, And even Dooney and Burke with their all-weather leather, their vintage all-weather leather is far superior to the current all-weather leather. And I've been saying this in several videos. There's something wrong with these cows. They're not being bred to live long lives or whatever. The the leather is thin. It's not the same. The coated canvas from Louis Vuitton is that the same from 30 years ago? I feel like the coated canvas from 30 years ago was made like with denim, like denim jeans, you know what I mean? Like Levi's denim jeans and like that kind of material, and then it was coated, where now you're getting like Old Navy quality canvas and then it's being coated. I bought my mom a bag. I spent $850 in 2008 for a 35 Speedy or a 30 Speedy. I can't remember. Sorry. I have the receipt in my whatever. And within 6 months, all four corners were starting to wear and there were holes in the bag. Mind you, I was replacing my mom's 35-year-old Speedy, or 30 years, 20 years, something like that. It's old. I mean, back in the day, I thought that was like a lot. I mean, mind you, this was 16 years ago. To me, time was like weird. But her bag was like 20 or 30 years old and it was starting to wear. So I bought her a new one because I was working in corporate America. I was making money and I was like, let me buy my mom a bag. And from that day, I had lost all, and I still have lost all respect for Louis Vuitton. Don't get me wrong. I'm still going to buy all the makeup when they come out, though, because I'm really curious to see, since Pat McGrath is doing the line, what their packaging is going to be like. That's going to be everybody's Christmas present this year is Louis Vuitton makeup, because it launches in September. I'm going to buy as much as I can, give it out as Christmas gifts. I'm being honest. So and I do like some of their stuff, but I have not actually gone to Louis Vuitton and purchased anything since 2008. I bought the Poche Accessoire for $325, which is now $12.90. I bought that bag from my mom, which we never got money back for because it was out of warranty after 6 months, and it was just a waste of money. And then I bought myself a bag that has been literally in the box since 2008. I think I've worn it twice. It's patinaed. It's beautiful. It's called the Mont Gruel or something like that. It was also $800 and something, and I've never worn it because to this day, I look at that bag and it just reminds me of how disappointed my mother was in the quality of Louis Vuitton. I stopped buying Louis Vuitton a little bit before that when the Epi leather came out because I'm like, what is this? This is not high quality. And then they started coming out with all the stuff that's coming out now, the cherry blossom, the cherry, and the multicolor thing. I've never been a fan of it. I will never be a fan of it. I do not think they're cute. I'm like, this is not luxury. This is a circus to me. Don't get mad at me. I said, don't come at me, right? Because how I feel. Every time I look at those things, I don't think they're cute. I don't admire it. I'm not like, oh girl, you got the collection. Look at you. I'm just like, because if you're going to spend that much money, spend it on something that's going to look good and last a while. Like if you actually looked at eBay and all these other places, all of those bags were selling for like nothing. It wasn't until they relaunched it that now people were getting their money's worth trying to resell these bags. They were holding on to it for a while. And I get that there's the nostalgic thing where a lot of people missed it when they were younger, so they want to get it now. I completely get that. That's how I felt about the 2011 Peekaboo from Fendi. And guess what? I bought 2 of them on the Real. I'm like, thinking about buying 2 more from the 2011 collection because I thought that was the best years that they made it. I look at the Peekaboos now, I have no interest in them. I do not think luxury is as attractive as everyone is making it seem because I know the quality of what it was, right? That's not the point. The point of this video is that people are going to pay for what they want to pay for. But the reason they're paying for it is not because they're stupid. It's because they know what their money's going towards. And yes, some of these big companies could be funding things that are undesirable to some of us. We really don't know what is actually going on behind the scenes. You can kind of just assume, guess, whatever. And that's why some people don't support these brands. But the truth is, we understand that when you're buying luxury, it is paying a lot of people. It's not just, it comes from China and then that's it. Like, no, like there's a whole bunch of people that are getting paid from acquiring the materials, paying the company that acquires the materials, having those materials shipped to China, combined, made. Those Chinese workers are getting paid. Those delivery people were getting paid. Do you understand? There's a lot of people getting paid because these products are being produced. So don't sit there and think that we're idiots because the final price is $1,200 and they're saying you can get it for $125 or 400. Yeah, but there's a reason that profit margin is there. Is there a high increase? Heck yeah. But remember what I told you, you have to make up for the losses. How are you supposed to make up for the losses of things that didn't sell well when it's just a business? So you guys are getting a little lesson here, right? The last thing that I wanted to touch upon is the fact that the condescending nature, like, you guys might think that I'm being condescending. I'm not. I'm just trying to like explain it to you guys, because I was watching these videos and people are like, I knew it. I knew you guys were overpaying. Y'all stupid. Then there's people crying, I can't believe I paid this much money for a bag. I feel stupid. Don't feel stupid. If you thought that had value, go for it. Why does a Lamborghini have more value than a Toyota? Features and quality and materials. And it's the same thing with these luxury bags. Now, if you're buying like that Prada bag, it was like a Prada raffia knit bag that had holes in it, like it was knit and it was loose, and it kind of looked like the vegetable carrying bag. See, like, I haven't purchased luxury bags full price since 2008. I always get it on the secondhand market, and I always get it from my clients if they're selling their bags. I do not pay full price. If my clients give me a bag to sell and I want to buy it, I agree on a price and then I pay for it, and then I'm supposed to get a 20% commission or 25% commission now. For selling their bag, I take off that 25%, so I get that discount, and then I just pay them. And I buy a lot of my bags now from my clients who actually paid for them, and I know they're full price and I know that they're real. I can tell a super fake from a mile away. If you've ever watched any of my videos, I used to go on eBay. I don't know if those videos are still up there, but I used to go on eBay and all these other things. I had to delete a lot of videos for multiple reasons. And tell you, like, okay, look at this bag. See that stitching right there? You see this? You see how it's not patining? You see how there's watermarks? Like, like, you see the edge coat? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't buy this one because blah, blah, blah. And I would explain to people what I think is real and what I think is fake. Was I right all the time? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, they were just videos that I was making. If you guys want to see those videos, let me know in the description box. I'll make more videos like that. I used to go on the Real and be like, oh, this looks good. This looks good. And I even made a video where I bought a Bottega bag and it was fake. And I had to return it back to the Real and be like, this is not real. After I had already bought 3 Bottega bags from the Real. So they knew that I knew what I know, so they just gave me the refund. It wasn't even an issue. I've heard of people having horror stories. But just the condescending tone of people trying to make it seem like people are stupid for spending their money. Like, they're not. I don't, like, they're just not. They know what they're funding. They know what they're doing. Some of these people actually have stock in Louis Vuitton and all these things from the Kering brand and the LVMH brand, and they're buying it to support the stock that they have, so. And also, some of these designs are good, some of these designs are horrible. I look at some of these things that come out every single season and I'm like, what is wrong with you people? But everybody's different and we all have different likes and dislikes, so I can't judge them because it's not my style, it's their style. And if they want to go out there and rock it and they're confident and they're happy, so be it. Yeah, I know that you can get a shirt from DH Geek that says Gucci, but I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen the two. Not the same cotton, not the same print. You try to wash that or dry clean it, it's not going to come out right. There's a lesser quality when you're buying a dupe or a fake than when you buy the original. And some people are okay with it because they're trendy bags and they're like, I'm only going to wear it for the season. I don't care. I'll get rid of it. I'll wear it till it dies down and then I'll get the new thing. Because they care more about looking like they have money and they bought the new thing, or they have all this money, they could keep buying all these new things. I'm not like that. I'm more classic, and there's a lot of people like me who are more classic. They may buy a fake bag on Canal Street or whatever. I don't even think that it's possible anymore. They've been cracking down on that a lot in New York, the fake bag people. But I found that, and I've seen my friends, and not my friends, but people that I know that have fakes, and some of them are really good and some of them are bad. Some of the SLGs, the actual card holders or the wallets from overseas, if they're made in the same factory, why is it so hard to get a card in there? Like, you're pushing to get the card in the card slot. The card slot doesn't just open up for the card like it does with the luxury wallet. The zippers are always wonky. If they're made in the same factory, why are they always so off? Why is it that when you buy a bag from overseas that's a dupe, the edge coat starts coming off and things start chipping and the the hardware starts tarnishing. If it's the same quality materials and you're getting the same exact bag, but for less, why are there these quality issues that are not happening with the original? Because it's not the same bag. It just looks the same. And a lot of people realize that. Like if you buy a real, I mean, nowadays, believe me, the quality of luxury has diminished drastically. There are some pieces that are superb and other pieces that you're like, how are you charging $1,200 for this? And there's still people that are going to buy it. It's really, the quality has really diminished, in my opinion, from like the early 2000s when influencers started really influencing the purchasing of luxury items until now. I would say a good 20 to 24 years, or 16 to 24 years, let's say that. In my personal opinion, has luxury started to decline. There are still some key pieces that are fabulous, but a lot of them are just like, no, I'm not spending $800 for a tank top, even $100 for a tank top. I don't even think a tank top's worth $50. Let me tell you that. Even if it's recycled material, I don't think it's worth it. I don't. Tank top, $20, $30, $40 at most. 50? That's just my brain, right? Because I understand the value of manufacturing. I understand what it costs to make something, but I still understand that all these other people need to get paid. Right? So that's why I try to go to the source or buy it secondhand or get it like after the season, where it's like still brand new with tags, but like, it came out in the summer. I'll wear it next summer, and it has the tag, but it's on sale now. Like that's how I shop. That's what I show you on this channel. I'm like, oh my God, Puma, these sneakers are 50% off. Run, get them now because it's only, because the seasons have changed. So I'm always telling you guys deals. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. Do not hit that notification button. I make too many videos. You're going to get annoyed and then want to unsubscribe. Please don't do that. If you just want to like the content, I really appreciate that. But I was insulted by watching some of the videos that these people were making and the way that they were talking and how condescending they were. And I was like, nah, I need to get on here and say something, so SLGs, some of the costume jewelry, even Chanel costume jewelry is, a lot of people complain about it, but it's still made better than the costume jewelry that you're getting from DHgate and all these other places. Yes, you can get away with it for a little while, but it will fall apart. It's not the same quality. It's not the same metal, even though it's not real gold or silver. It's just, you could tell a real Chanel earring from a DHgate one or an AliExpress one or a super fake from China. You can, but like some of these items that you can get from China, when you think about what they're charging in luxury brands, like I understand why somebody would do that. You know what I mean? I would just rather buy it from my clients and I would buy it secondhand. That's just my personal choice and opinion at this point in my life. I'm like, if you guys notice, I don't buy anything on DHgate and, I don't do that there were some things that I bought that were dupes, meaning that they didn't have the brand and whatever. But I look at it kind of like, I get it. I get it when you don't have money and you just want that one bag. I get it. I'm not judging. I'm really not. I'm absolutely not. I get when you're walking down Canal Street and you're like, oh, screw it. Let me just add one fake bag to my collection. I get that. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What I do think is wrong is people being rude and nasty to the people who are paying for luxury and trying to make them feel like they're idiots, because they're not. They know what they're paying for, and that's all I wanted to say. Other than that, I did make another video prior to this. I'm more concerned with people getting arrested for buying fakes. Nobody's talking about it. If you buy it and you get caught with a fake, you can get arrested. If you're going overseas to China and you're buying it and they're giving you receipts, they might make you pay the taxes on it and just play with you and be like, well, we got money from them for buying fakes. They spent more on the taxes than they did on the actual bag. Do you know what I mean? And that's just the way it's a possibility. It's not rooted in truth or fact, but that's just a way that maybe this administration might do for people that are coming overseas from China that they don't want to, like, they're like, oh, whatever, we'll just make them pay the taxes and we'll take their money. And then maybe later on, if they have your information in the system, they might come to your house, knock on your door and be like, hey, we were just reviewing these receipts. They don't look real after you've already paid the taxes. We'd like to see the bag again. No, this is fake. You're buying counterfeit goods, bringing them across. Just be careful. like just be careful, you guys. Because I don't want anyone getting in trouble for something like that. Do you know what I mean? So you are better off, even if it's secondhand, buying something. I mean, I don't know how the law is going to look at secondhand bags anymore, but just be careful because this administration is very different from anyone before. And I just want y'all to be careful. You know, like if I didn't care, I wouldn't say anything. But I'm just letting you know, just be careful. Don't bring your fakes overseas. Don't come back with fakes from overseas. You're risking a lot by doing that. You know what I mean? It's better to just go to these little towns and buy stuff from the locals that's high quality material than to buy a fake, you know? And the other thing is, like, people are like, well, if you can't afford it, you shouldn't be wearing it. That's another condescending thing. I don't like those people either, where they're like, oh, this is supposed to be for for the rich people and only rich people can have it. Well, let me tell you something. When I bought all my luxury bags, I had money and I paid for it. And they were gifted to me by my mom and my family members, right? So why don't I deserve it? Because you don't think that I can afford it to buy it? If someone gives you a gift and it's a nice gift, you should be able to wear it and wear it with pride. You know what I mean? If you work really hard to buy that one bag, that's up to you if you want to wear it. No, I'm not talking about any of those people. I'm talking about the condescending people also, because there's condescension on both sides, where they're like, you shouldn't be wearing it if you can't afford it. And I'm like, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to get, you know? So, so just understand that, yeah, on both sides, there's a lot of ugly, a lot of but I just want you guys to just be aware of why people pay for luxury. I want you to understand to please be careful. I don't want anyone getting hurt or arrested because they want it to look good. Like, just save your money, buy the real thing or buy a secondhand version. The secondhand is always cheaper. People spend like $2, $3, $4,000. Some of these people are just gifted it from the brand. They use it for a little while, then they go and they sell it for like nothing. You can get it secondhand, the real thing, for like nothing. Then there's a lot of super fakes out there. I'm gonna start making videos again, I think, of like how to spot a fake, because I just feel like it's very useful, especially if you are shopping in the secondhand market. But that's all I wanted to say. I'm actually going to go to bed now because I got to wake up crazy early. I probably shouldn't have even made this video, but that's what I have for you guys. If you like my vibe, please subscribe. If you just want to like the video, I would really appreciate it. You know, I've been on this channel for 4 years. I'm not even at 1,200 subscribers yet. So if you guys can really help, I would really appreciate that. I know some people will start a channel 3 months later, they have like 200,000 followers or like 10,000 followers. I was like that when I first started. I was like, boom, and then all of a sudden it just stopped. So I would really appreciate anything that you guys can do to help the channel grow if you liked my content. And if you want to check out any of my other videos, by all means, go ahead. And I would love to hear your feedback below. Just not, let's not bring hate. You know what I mean? Like, that's up to you. But that's all I have for you guys. Until next time, XOXO. Bye.